You're gonna check out those feeds. Once you pull up on your screen, on your other computer, check out Facebook, make sure we're coming up.
I can't because I got the internet.
I got you. Are we good live?
Give me 1 second. Yes, we are.
Live in the studios, my friend. Hey guys, Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty. We're going live in the studios. So I wanted to kind of drop in here, take a few moments. We're about to record our radio show tomorrow. But this topic kept coming up, and so I want to do a live stream on it today. I've got a few minutes I want to spare with you. And if you guys are shopping real estate, you can know how stressful it can get, right? You know, buying or selling real estate is never an easy process. But I've had this come up a couple times, not only with my team and also some buyers that we've talked to. And this dilemma, you may see it if you're looking online. I've got an article right here. It says, the cost of a free ride, why not to use a buyer's agent? And I saw some of these articles and I said, you know what? I need to talk about it and how that's really not the case. So we have a lot of sellers that we work with on a consistent basis. And obviously the sellers know the most about the property, the seller's agent, they're gonna know the most product and information. But when I heard this article and some of the buyers calling, I want to kind of set the record straight. You know, most of the clients are, I guess, now as we're evolving in the real estate market, it's kind of a hot market, right? So the homes are moving very rapidly. And a lot of times that the buyers right now are thinking, well, I'll just call the listing agent. You ever seen those buyers where I think I'll get a better deal? We're just kind of scroll through Zillow or Realtor.com and Mr. Buyer calls and says, hey, you know, I've got 5 houses today. Can you meet me at the property? Well, sure. You know, never giving the information of what they're looking for, never understanding that they have 5 houses picked up and they're going to listing agent to listing agent to listing agent. All at the end of the day to find out that some of those homes didn't match what they were looking for, or a combination that they didn't get the deal that they were thinking. So I had a client that called, well, a potential prospect that called, and one of my agents was working with them, and they said, Ryan, they literally had 15 homes picked out that they were going to go in random from, let's say this house was in La Follette, all the way to Morristown. It's a lot of homes and a lot of time frame. They came in town and they only were using the buyer's agent. The selling agent. Didn't want to use a buyer's agent, didn't see any value in that. Kind of what this article was talking about. This is what I think of that article. Anyway, so buyer's agent and why that's not a value. And I asked my agent, I said, what do you think is their biggest hang up? Why are they not wanting to work with somebody that's working for them? And they said, you know, they just think they can get a better deal. So this show, this segment, it's all about thinking that you're going to get a better deal if you're looking for buying a home. Obviously, you want the most information. But I'm going to tell you, just kind of debunk some of those myths. That's not always the case. And more times than not, probably 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a better deal. Let me tell you what a buyer agent does and why there's value in a buyer's agent. Now, you understand the fiduciary laws and things like that. So obviously a listing agent or a seller, they're hired by the seller. I tell all my clients all the time that at the sign in the yard, more than likely they're being paid by the seller. Well, probably all the time they're being paid by the seller. And so they work for the seller. They can't tell you what they're willing to sell the property for. They're not going to tell you, hey, offer less. Not anybody that's ethical, right? And so really, more than likely, they're not going to be fighting for you to get the extra deal. Now, I know that goes against a lot of listings that we have, and we sell a lot of those all the time. But in whole, if you're looking at homes, usually you don't look at just one property, right? You know, being great listing agents, we can sell the property, we know the most about the property, and we're going to get it done. But the power of a buyer agent is more than likely what you saw online or the video, or maybe the neighbors are not exactly what you're looking for. That home doesn't match exactly what you're looking for. And you know, how do buyers determine value? They go comparison shop. By comparison shopping, it gives us the idea that we're paying either too much or we've got a really good deal. Or that we may find another subdivision close by that's actually better value and better built. But you're only going to do that by shopping. I think the biggest thing that you want to talk about in some of these topics that I've got here is the number one thing that a buyer agent can do is save you time. Time is money in business and everything that you do. A buyer agent is going to bring you through and delegate and look at the properties that only match your criteria. You may pull something up online, but didn't realize where it's located. Or the HOA restrictions, by the way, won't fit what you're looking for. So buyer's agent is going to save you a lot of time. Experience. The agent that you choose comes down to selling and buying are the biggest decisions you're going to make. The experience of the agent to know how to negotiate, to walk through the property, to see what the reason the seller is selling. Most people don't fail to ask that question. I ask my sellers all the time, what's the reason you're selling and what's your motivation behind selling? Very important question. Sometimes there's a job transfer. Sometimes there's an immediate relocation that has to happen. These are important things that you're dealing with an important seller. And if you go directly to the listing agent or go to an agent without representation, sometimes you won't find out that information. How about this? Ever deal with a builder and their one-sided contracts? That is true. A lot of new constructions in the marketplace, they're one-sided. And the challenge in here is when you go in here and you're trying to get the best deal and thinking that the listing agent maybe is going to give you a better deal or maybe charge the seller a little bit less commission, a lot of times that's not passed off to you. More than likely it won't get passed off to you. So what's that issue? Well, now you're in a contract. You've got nobody fighting for you. You went right through the listing agent trying to save a couple bucks. And guess what? Now you're into a contract that you have signed. You put a deposit down. You paid for inspections and appraisal. Now you change your mind. Who's going to be fighting for you to get out of that contract? See, the experience of the agent's been doing it a long time in the marketplace is going to be able to walk you through that process and be able to get you out of the contracts or be able to help you if there's an issue regarding that, somebody that's got your back regarding that. I think the biggest misconception, and most people, we're in our space all the time, and so we think consumers really know the process of real estate. I do it all the time, and we had a question with a client the other day, and it's like, you're in your business so much, and you just feel like everybody knows it, but it really isn't true. So most buyers, agents, there are no cost to the buyer. That's right, no cost to the buyer. How does that work? They're usually built into the deal. Unless you're buying an off-market deal, maybe bank foreclosure, auction property, and even some of the auction properties have commissions built in. Maybe it's a for sale by owner property. Those are the rare exception. The commission usually is factored into the deal. Okay, so why not use a buyer agent? Doesn't cost you anything, saves you time. You've got their experience. You're leveraging on somebody that can help you through the transaction. I love it. How about this? In an inventory market where there's not many deals, best source for people. It's not what you know, right, guys? It's who you know. Agents that are in the marketplace, good agents like ourselves, they're out there pushing in the marketplace. We've got a lot of inventory that you'll never see. And when we're working with buyers, we're matching those up first, right? That's why sellers hire us. Large amount of buyers that we're working with can easily have first pick of the litter. I know some people say, well, that's not fair, but that's life. Obviously, we're working for our clients. Buyers are working with us. We're going to give them first opportunities. That's just the nature of the business. And that another aspect, I've got number 6 on here, we don't lose properties, right? Competitive marketplace. A good agent's going to show you how to structure the offer that's working for you, and they're going to negotiate a deal that makes sense. And if they're in a competing offer, guess what? They're going to tell you how to win, whether it's waiving that home inspection, increasing that escrow deposit. Yes, increasing that escrow deposit so that your offer stands out from the other buyer. If you're non-contingent, right? Non-contingent upon your sale, hey, let's make that and remove the contingency and show we've got financing that we could bump the other buyers out. A lot of these things we're having to do today. Talk about the money. You're trying to save money. Well, lenders that are in the business, they work with great agents and we connect with each other. We've got some of the best financing in all of East Tennessee, and we're going to make that available to you. So you're trying to save on PMI, you want a 5/1 ARM, maybe you want a 15-year loan. How about closing cost incentive? How about closing costs rolled into the deal? And we've got all those types of programs, 3% down, 100%. Not that all banks are created the same. So we have some of the best financing products that's going to save you money on a long-term purchase. Covered a lot, and I'll leave the last topic here, number 8, on negotiating. I think the biggest thing that buyers and in the marketplace you have to understand, in real estate or whatever trade you're in, those guys are doing it all the time. And sometimes it's very hard for a consumer to go here and negotiate with the listing agent or for sale by owner, and they're not in the marketplace. We get excited, right? And the great thing about real estate is, me and my wife bought her house. She's getting excited. We're walking through the builder. We're looking at different things, and that emotion gets going, right? But that emotion can cost you money. You need somebody that's going to be calm in the storm, that's going to walk you through the whole process and negotiate throughout the whole process. I mean negotiate, I mean really negotiate. From every aspect, from closing date, possession date, appliances, inspections, appraisals. Deal starts going south, we got to negotiate some more. I think that's one of the biggest things that most people don't think about. When you have somebody in your corner, when they're representing you as a buyer's agent, they're going to work for you guys. They're going to save you time, they're going to save you money, the experience in the marketplace to know what's selling, what's buying, and if the market's changing on you, make sure you're not making a bad decision. So this is my little rant here or live stream regarding buyer agency and why it's important. We've used it for years. We've got over 5,000 agents in the marketplace, and we work a lot with people that are, whether they're a buyer agent or a listing agent. But buyers in the marketplace today, when there's a lack of inventory, there's never a greater time to have a buyer agent working for you to negotiate the best deal. Yes, there's opportunities. Yes, you may think you're going to get a better deal, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the best deal by working with the best agent that's working for your needs. So I hope you guys find that helpful. So if you're out there calling around on internet properties, and just remember, the time it hits the internet, some of those deals have been on the market for a week or 2 weeks off market. So a lot of those times you may not even get to those properties. So I think there's a lot of opportunities you guys may be missing out. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe to our page. We're out on social media a lot. You see us around town. We have a radio show we're going to put out tomorrow. But I hope you like this topic. Buyer's agent, do we use one or do we save to get a better deal? I'm going to tell you, use a buyer's agent always. If you're out there in the marketplace, if you don't have a home to sell, they're going to negotiate for you and try to get you the best deal. Hope you guys have an awesome week. We're going to talk to you more. If you like us for any information, like, subscribe our page, websites below, ryancoleman.org. You need us for anything. You need buyer representation. We've got great agents here that will help you through the process. Want to talk to me about your transaction, how we can help you sell in your home. Be glad to do that easy. 693 Sold. Hope you guys have an awesome week, and we'll catch up with you next week.